We're starting to get this economy rolling again, the focus on how do we dig out economically. So we bring the experts in. Of course, Eric from SBC is with us. Let's start with bailouts. Let's start with what we've seen happen so far. You said they were going to continue with the stimulus. And what's going on? And they're continuing with the stimulus, aren't they?
Well, they're definitely trying to. You know, the House right now looking to now inject $3 trillion. I mean, if you've kind of listened into it, it's an 1,800-page legislation, but I don't think that that's actually going to pass the House. Nonetheless, they're going to continue to try to inject money, and the real concern is, you know, yesterday was $2 trillion, the next day is $3 trillion. Next thing you know, they're asking for $10 trillion. I mean, at what point in time does this come to an end?
When you look at it, though, if the paper's worthless, who cares how many zeros are on the number, right? I mean, at some point, printing money is just going to make it worthless, right? Well,
I have a hard time believing, because of the way that our currency is structured, that we'd ever get to a worthless currency. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could debunk any currency if you're completely careless, and hopefully the Fed has enough sense not to let that happen. You know, because the Fed has two different ways that they can, the toolbox, if you would, that they have to actually help us through this. One of which is monetary policy, interest rates, or, you know, security, mortgage-backed securities or savings bonds. But they've kind of already fired all those bullets. So now last resort lending is really the only way that they have to continue to try to prop this economy up. So we're going to continue printing. There's no doubt about that. It's the only ammunition in the Fed's gun at this point in time. The politicians in Congress, on the other hand, they scare me.
We wanted an inverted V in the virus to flatten the curve, and then we wanted to see a V in climbing out. We're hearing more and more grumblings that it's not going to look like a V.
No, I mean, the Fed has come out and said that they don't believe that that's possible. Any of the true economic experts out there don't believe that. It's just not, it's not realistic. You know, everyone's saying it's going to look more like either a Nike swoosh or possibly an L-shaped recovery. The question is how long? That's the true question. Are we talking 18 months? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, but we're not out of the woods right now. I mean, for instance, I mean, us here in Arizona, thank God, we're you know, opening things up. But I mean, you look at somewhere like California. I mean, they're trying to lock things down for another 3 months, and that's the 5th largest economy in the entire world. Not in this country, in the world. So that will affect the entire United States. Period.
So I've asked you about, is it too late for people that wanted to buy gold, or should they have done it a while ago? But what about the people that did the smart thing years ago to plan for that rainy day, and it's come? If they need to sell gold, what do you say to the people that now are saying, I need to sell gold?
That's interesting. We can definitely help on that. I mean, right now we've had some people come through the door that they're in the unfortunate situation where they have to sell. Others, the product that you might not be the best product to have, and there are a lot of differences in the different types of products that are out there. Our team is dedicated to helping show people, you know, which products to hang on to, which ones perhaps to sell, or, you know, maybe even flip into a different product.
So one of the reasons why I always recommend SBC, go to your website. There's a lot of information just for the casual observer to read. But to really get to the nuts and bolts of what's necessary for someone, they need to make an appointment so that the decisions they make are more educated. It's not as simple as it sounds. Buy low, sell high. It's more complicated. Right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we don't. If this was easy to do, we wouldn't have jobs.
Right. Exactly. I always appreciate you guys coming in, because the average person this is moving so fast that the average person needs sound advice from someone they trust. So it's the guys at SBC. Go and see them, because they're the ones that are going to get you, at least give you sound advice. So thanks for coming down.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.